So we've all heard of emotional intelligence, but what is social intelligence and how can we cultivate the traits and habits to become more socially intelligent, socially astute, and make a greater impact in our surroundings? So we've all heard of emotional intelligence, but what is social intelligence and how can we cultivate the traits and habits to become more socially intelligent, socially astute, and make a greater impact in our surroundings? So that's the purpose of today's talk. I have created an earlier talk on emotional intelligence, so feel free to check that out when you get a chance. So the American Psychological Association defines intelligence in general as how well our intellect functions, right? Things of the intellect, your IQ tests, and all of those various different metrics and measures that determine how smart we are. But there are two types of intelligences that are required for leadership roles that cannot be measured using an IQ test, and that's social intelligence and emotional intelligence. So Psychology Today argues that, or defines that SQ, social intelligence, develops from experience with people and learning from successes and failures in social settings. It's how we learn, it's how we evolve. You have a good day, you're happy, you have a bad day, you learn. That's essentially how it works. So it's commonly referred, social intelligence, also known as SQ, is commonly referred to as tact. If you're, tactful, that means that you have tact, that you have social intelligence. Common sense or street smarts, right? It's just having that sense of knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it. That's social intelligence, and we can all use a little bit more of that. So the traits include social expressiveness skills. How expressive are you? A second trait is adept at learning how to play different social roles. Just being comfortable in different social settings as you're talking to different people from different backgrounds, from different socioeconomic statuses. Just being able to navigate that. That's a form of social intelligence. And known to be excellent listeners. People that have high SQ are known to be excellent listeners, which is a coaching skill that we're taught. Is just by being a good listener, that means that you have tact and that you have common sense and that it makes you a more sort of socially effective person, if you will. They're able to tell what makes people tick by paying attention to what they're saying and how they're behaving. So it's kind of like a radar. It's like when you go in someplace or even in an online setting, when you're able to read the room, that is again a form of tact and a form of SQ. So you're able to tell how people are thinking and feeling just by reading the room, by assessing their body language, by just picking up on those cues. That is a very, very major form of social intelligence. And lastly, and this is the toughest one and the hardest one that we're all sort of learning to navigate, is they manage the impression of themselves that they exude on other people, right? So that essentially is a delicate balance of being true to your authentic self, being who you are unabashedly, unapologetically, while managing the impression that you're making on other people. So it's a delicate balance. It's a little dance that we all have to sort of do. It's the struggle or the conflict between your authentic self and your adaptive self. Your adaptive self is the self that you want to portray to others. It's your persona. And there's a little bit of a struggle between those two every now and then. So the last one, I think, just takes a little bit of practice, but then we learn to sort of embrace that as we get a little older. So yeah, that was the talk for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching.